What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I created these summer 80s curved nails. These were actually a subscriber request. My subscriber Shaniqua wanted to see me do an 80s themed curved nail set. I did not too long ago a 90s themed curve set, so she actually commented on that video suggesting that I do an 80s themed one, so I went ahead and did it. I hope you liked them, sis. I went all out on these and it did take me a while, but I love the way they came out. They came out super bomb. I can't wait to show you guys how I created these. They're super bright and colorful and like so pretty for summer. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these colors that I received from Nail Reserve LA. They are having a 60% off sale this whole month, so I will leave my discount code down below for you guys. You guys can purchase any of their gels on their website with my discount code, which will be 60% off until the end of July. But yeah, they have a new summer collection and it's called A Little Dream of Summer. So I'm swatching this collection first. So we have the hot pink called I Don't Know, then a Malibu blue color called Sail Away, then we have this bone white color called Clouded, which I feel like would be so pretty for like Halloween sets. I don't know why I just thought of that, but I guess I have Halloween on my mind. And then this next color is called Future Past. It's like an orange color. And then the last one is a jelly color called Dream Chaser. It's like a amber yellow color. So I went ahead and cured those, and I also do have some other gels that they sent me a few weeks ago that I'm going to go ahead and swatch. This one is called Highs and Lows. It's a dark green. Then we have another blue which looks very similar to the blue called Sail Away that I just swatched. Like if one is out of stock, you could definitely go with this one. So that one is called Mind Doodles. Then we have one of those disco gels called City of Love. It's like a red disco gel, one of those like flash gels. Then we have a yellow color. This one is called Welcome Home. This is really pretty. It's like that sunflower yellow. And then this last one is called Opening Credits, and it's like one of those clear gels with gold flakes in it, and these are all the colors after curing. I only applied one coat. As you can see, they're super pigmented. All their gels are vegan and cruelty free, by the way, so definitely check the description box if you're interested in any of the colors after the video. Okay, so let's get into this design though, because I love the way this design came out, and like I'm mad hyped for this video. Like I went all out with this design. I feel like it came out like so fire for real. But anyways, I'm doing a polygel base on them. The base is pretty basic because all the nail art is going to be on top. So the base is pretty basic. I went in with my dehydrator primer as always. I did use those BT Art Box nail tips that I used in my 90s nails curve video, and I double tipped them. If you want to see how I shape them up and stuff, I will link that video in the cards so that you can see how I shaped them up prior to the video. I just didn't film that part because yeah, I wanted to get into the design. So I went in with my dehydrator primer and then a layer of base gel since we're doing a polygel base. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds after I'm done wiping the cuticle area. But yeah, the base is pretty simple. I'm going to be using this nude shade from Doodles. It's in the number 104. It's from one of their polygel kits. I can't really remember which one right now. If they do have it in like a single bottle, or if I can find the kit, I will link it in my Amazon store in case you guys like were interested in it or anything like that. In this video, I actually did not have any isopropyl alcohol, so I'm using some base gel as a slip solution and cleaning my brush off with a little bit of acetone. So if you see the polygels sticking to my brush, that's probably why, because I was having a little bit of an issue when I got to some of the nails, because normally I use isopropyl alcohol, but I actually ended up getting it after the video. But whatever, I made it work. It wasn't really that big of a deal. But the color that I'm using is 104. It's a nude shade. Right now it kind of looks a little bit apricot for some reason on camera, but later on in the video, like after I do my nail art and everything, you can really tell it's just like a nude beige color. It does have a little bit of an apricot tint to it, like it looks like here, but it's really not that apricot. So I'm just applying one layer of it to all of the nails because I don't want them to be too thick. I find that when you make the base a little bit thinner, not too thin, but a little bit thinner, and then you do your nail art on top, it doesn't widen your shape. So that's why I'm doing it like this, because I'm doing like a whole lot of nail art on top of these, and I really didn't want them to be too thick. I wanted like a classy like shape to where it was like pretty narrow. And I really like these nail tips because it gives the nails a slight curve. I don't really like the way my nails look like when they're like really curved, but a slight curve is really cute. So I found that double tipping these nail tips, you could really get that look with these, and I feel like it's the perfect curve if you don't like a lot of curve, you know what I mean, just like a slight curve. I would definitely try these nail tips. So I'm applying this polygel onto the nails. I'm just squeezing it out onto the nail and patting it in place. Usually when I squeeze the polygel out, that little rounded end that I squeeze out first, I use that to build the apex. So I focus it in that area and then just kind of like pat the rest of the polygel down the nail side to side, and then just use my brush to smooth the nail out so it's not really lumpy or anything. Since these are double tipped, you want to make sure you apply enough polygel to the tip of the nail to cover the little tiny hump at the very tip of the nail from double tipping them, so you can't really tell that they're double tipped in the end, if that makes any sense. I am flash curing as I go because this polygel is a little bit soft and it can run into the cuticle area if you just leave it on the nail. On this nail I didn't apply enough, so I do end up going in with just a little bit more. Now I'm gonna go ahead and shape up the nails. I did actually cleanse them with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to get that tacky layer of gel off. So I'm just using a 180 sanding band for these, since like I said, I didn't make them super thick. I made them more on the thinner side since I'm applying a lot of nail art on them and I didn't want to thicken them up. Once I do apply the nail art though, they will thicken up like to how they actually should be. So that's a little trick if you don't want your nails to widen a lot. after you shape them up and everything, if you're doing like a lot of nail art on top of your nails. I've learned that like over the years doing nails, like if I make my shape wider at first and then pile on a bunch of nail art, it does kind of like thicken the shape. However, you do still want to apply your gels thin and everything, but I just find that no matter what you do, it does kind of do that anyway. So it does help to make them a little less thick to begin with, if that makes any sense. So I'm just taking this 180 sanding band, since polygel files down a lot faster, so you don't really need anything too like coarse. So this is a 180 sanding band. I'm using it with my Melody Susie Jade nail drill and dust collector. So I'm just going around the cuticle area, filing around the cuticle area to seal it, then filing over the surface of the nail along the sidewalls and underneath the nail. Sometimes when you double tip, you get like that little plastic that kind of hangs down. So you'll see me filing the very tip of the nail underneath to file that away so it's nice and straight.
Greeny. Greeny.
Okay, so now I'm going to take this 150 grit hand file from Melody Susie. This came in the Melody Susie subscription box. I really like the way this hand file shapes up the nails. It's not like too coarse, it's like the perfect grit to where you don't like cut your fingers open because it's so sharp. So for the long curve ones, you want to hold your file straight and just file straight on each side and kind of alternate sides, just to kind of like, you know, shape up the nails and make the shape look nice and sharp. When I double tip these, they're kind of already in a coffin shape, so I don't really have to do much, but just kind of like tighten up the sides a little bit. And then for the free edge, I'm just gonna file straight across at the free edge. You want to hold your file at an angle and file straight across. And then of course, when you're done shaping them up, buff over the nails to smooth them out, smooth out any rough edges and scratches, especially before you do your nail art.
Greeny.
Okay, so these are the colors that I'm going to be using for the design. I'm going to be using Zest Extra from Nail Reserve. It's a teal shade. Then I'm also going to be using White Addict, which is now called White Reserve, before they changed their name. So this is a white gel polish. Then I'm using that shade Welcome Home from, these are all Nail Reserve colors except for like one of them that I'm going to be using. So I'm also using this purple shade called Fashionista Forever. This pink shade called I Don't Know. I'm using some colors from the new collection and then colors that I already have since they're having a sale. What better way to show all the colors? And then I'm also using that Malibu blue color called Sail Away. Also this really pretty pink color called Melrose District. This is my favorite pink from them. Like my bottle is literally almost empty. I am using this one shade from Madame Glam because I couldn't find a green that I really wanted to use from Nail Reserve. I don't know if I had one like this, but this one is called Green Highlighter. Then I'm also using Black Reserve from Nail Reserve as well. So I actually do end up adding a few more colors, but this is what I got to start with. So I'm using my detail brush in the number 3 to start painting the base colors on the nails. Sometimes when I do abstract nails, like I don't even know where to start, but I started off by painting the base colors on the nails and then just went from there. So I was kind of thinking of things as I go along. So I started off like this, which made it a little easier because then I got like some sort of inspo as I started. So I feel like these colors are so 80s. They're like the perfect 80s colors. But anyways, I'm going in on this nail with the hot pink I Don't Know and that other pink called Melrose District. I'm just painting the colors onto the nail like randomly, like not in any specific way, just kind of like really abstract. And then I'm curing each nail because I always end up hitting my nail on something. So I'm doing those two colors on this nail. On the next nail, I'm using this yellow color that I ended up adding. It's called Spicy Sahara. It was a little bit brighter in the bottle than the other yellow that I put on the palette, but I do end up using both actually, and they actually both look the same on the nail, so it didn't really matter honestly. But at first I thought the other one was going to be a lot darker, so I went in with this one. So I'm doing this color on half of the nail and then also that teal shade Zest Extra on the ring finger. I'm going in with the orange shade, which I do end up adding to the palette as well. There's like so many colors I had to go like on the edges of the palette, but the orange shade is called Future Past, so I'm going in with that one on the ring finger. And then the purple shade Fashionista Forever, and on the pinky I'm using that Malibu blue color called Sail Away and the white called White Reserve.
Rainy.
Okay, so now that the base colors are on the nails, I went in and started drawing shapes next, because when you think of 80s, you think of like the little shapes and prints and squigglies and stuff like that. So that's kind of like the theme that I was going for. So I'm going to be drawing like triangles, circles, half circles, the little lightning bolts, lines, dots, hearts, also like different prints later on. Right now I'm doing the shapes and colors and stuff, and I'm gonna add the black detailing with the prints and everything later on. That's what's really gonna bring everything out. But right now I'm kind of doing the shapes and stuff like that. So as you can see, I'm doing like little lightning bolts and stuff. I accidentally smudged the yellow triangle, so I had to repaint that. This is what I mean why I flash carry, because I always like end up smudging something because I'm clumsy like that. But I ended up fixing it, so it turned out fine anyway. But there's also like these little lines that you make off to the side, the 3 lines. It's kind of like a layered design basically. I'm just kind of like layering, and that's how you get that look in the end.
Rainy. 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 Ringy.
Now that the shapes and everything are done, I'm gonna go ahead and use that black shade called Black Reserve to go ahead and add the detailing and like the prints and stuff. So this is what's really gonna bring everything out. So like within the little white circles and stuff like that, I'm gonna make these little lions. I'm also gonna be doing some dots and some leopard print and zebra print. I feel like all those things kind of remind me of the 80s, so that's why I'm doing that. For the leopard print spots, you just want to make like little half C shapes and like little dots in between the leopard print to make it look like actual cheetah print. If I mess up, I just use a little bit of acetone on my cleanup brush. For the zebra print, it's basically just like lines. You want to kind of wiggle your brush as you're drawing them and use the tip of your brush to get thinner lines.
Ringy. 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 Ringy.
To finish up, I'm gonna add some flower charms to my nails with some McCurt rhinestone gel. I have these little colorful flowers, so I'm gonna use them, and I feel like once I added these, it just like really brought everything together. It made it look like summer in the 80s. Like, it was so cute, and the colors of the flowers matched the nails perfectly, so it was like a whole vibe. Like, I just love the way these came out. I'm definitely keeping these on for a little while because I worked hard on these. I was literally sweating in here in my nail room working on these, but yeah, they came out super bomb. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments. You better like this set because I worked hard on it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, please leave your girl a like before you leave. I would really appreciate it. Of course, let me know what you think of it in the comments. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe before you leave and hit the bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. And if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, make sure you do that so we can stay connected on there. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Love you guys.
Ringy.